want to talk to you and go through a couple of things. So, Bill, it's up to you.
Yeah. We've started this three months ago where we have always wanted to have more interaction between y'all and us. We have the 6 or 8 or 10 of us that kind of are the steering committee. It isn't our job to make this Tea Party. It is our job to steer this Tea Party. It's basically y'all's job to tell us what we want to do. Over the last several weeks, we had conversations on what we wanted to kind of steer the conversation to, if anybody wanted to talk to it. And then anything else anybody wants to talk to is fair game to a point. One of the things that's come up, and this is probably the point, but we have a Facebook page, and a lot of people do Facebook, and a lot of people don't. And the general question that we want to know is, one, how many people are on our Facebook, or your own Facebook, but our Facebook, the Ellis County Tea Party page, whether you feel it is a good, productive thing, or not so much, and whether or not anybody wants to address if you're. A lot of us are older and we don't play on Facebook. The younger set, they've taken it by the horns, and Facebook is a very good platform to get your message out to a lot of people. And I'm wondering, can I have a show of hands? How many people are on the Facebook? And how many people are on our Ellis County page? And from that point, the general question is, if you've been on it and you've been following it, we have very vocal folks, very opinionated folks. A lot of that is very educational, and I'm wondering what the consensus of the room of the people that probably aren't really involved, if you just kind of look at it and read it and go on from there. What do you think of it?
There you have it.
Yeah.
No, I know, because now, if you've noticed, they have the new little ticker that shows you who has viewed each thing.
Yeah.
So I know that there's people that are looking at things
Yeah.
that are not ever saying anything.
Alert.
Yeah,
Looky-loos, I don't know what to call them.
right.
But
They're observers, silent observers.
right, and that's the opinion that I'm looking for. If any of y'all are those lookers, visitors, and if you've got a comment on, the last month's worth of Facebook back and forth. With that, our next point, we'll come back to, if anybody wants it in open. I know there's subjects that are specific that we'd like to talk about too. But I want, yes.
I'm the program director of the Cedar Creek Lake Tea Party, and I dedicated one of our tea parties to showing those folks how to get on Facebook and YouTube. And we've got probably 30-something members in our Facebook page, and nobody says anything there except like 1 or 2 people. So even if you're not a Facebooker, you'll have an awesome, awesome Facebook.
We've got 156 members and probably 20 people
That are very.
that are at it all the time.
Yeah, I participate in y'all's more than mine because nothing's going on. So y'all have a good thing going, I think.
And it gets the message out to a lot of folks. Clint from Henderson County, and there's a lot of people who can see, they can see our page without being a member. They just can't post without being a member.
Right.
So our message is getting out to a lot of folks. The next subject we talked about,
And I think the reason why there's concern is because there's some concern that if people who didn't know what the Tea Party was about, that came on our Facebook page and saw the things that we're discussing,
Yeah.
they might say, these people can't even get along with each other. How are they gonna unite to?
Some of the most recent posts addressed that. Is basically why we wanted to discuss this. We're not gonna stifle anybody's free speech. This forum, the Facebook, is it's very productive. It's very learning. For those who actually, even if you just read it. There was one guy who's a member who posted the other day. He never posted, I never saw him post any time before, but he wanted to know, he saw that there was a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, a lot of discussion on our Facebook, and he wanted to know a specific question, and it got like 200 hits on it. I mean, 200
Replies.
comments. It just went on for his, I look again, it probably
And I don't think he
still-
ever got his answer.
Got a lot of opinions on it.
a lot of opinions. And another thing we brought up in our discussions is our attendance has kind of slipped from what it was a year ago. Personally, I've heard people say that if it was not on the weekend, I could come. Our next discussion point, if anybody wants to discuss, is whether or not it would be better if we had this on like a Thursday night rather than a Saturday night. A lot of people have told me Saturday's for family, and they're not going to come on. They got the weekend is finally, I've got a weekend, I'm not going out again. I'm going to do all the things that I got to do with my family. I got people coming in, I got people, I'm going places, and we're not able to come to your meeting. But if it was on a weeknight, we'd be willing to come. And so the question that I would like to ask, we would like to hear the answer to, is whether there'd be any interest in, and we've kind of narrowed it down to pretty much Thursday is the only night that isn't really packed on any other night. Mondays are packed, Tuesdays are packed, Wednesdays are church, Friday's the weekend. So would there be any kind of discussion that we want to hear from you about having a weeknight meeting as opposed to weekend?
Yes.
Are you saying it's packed, like this place is packed, and that's why and I just walked on the end of this, so I apologize. Are you saying it'd be better for us to choose Thursday because this place won't be as packed?
No. We have had this room filled. We've had 100, 120 people here a year ago, and we've dwindled off to 40, 50 people every month. And a lot of it is the same 20 and an additional 15 that come every other month or every third month. And we've kind of dwindled to, 30 to 50 people every month instead of 100.
We dwindled to lower than this.
Yeah, this is a big room.
Yeah.
In a relative sense, the last couple of months, I'm happy all year. On an August weekend night. But we would be willing to consider doing this on a weeknight, and we'd like to hear opinions.
My opinion is, as a mom,
Mhm.
school starting back up, and my weekdays are actually way busier than my weekends.
Okay?
Also, my weekends are busy too. So
Mhm.
the way that I stay up with y'all most of the time is like watching online. So that's always an option. But with school coming up, it's definitely.
Yeah, you're a young mom.
Yeah.
That's, the majority of us, our youngsters they only come with their kids and then they go home again. It's a beautiful thing. Grandkids is so great. Because why? They go home. That's the very valid comment, Ashley. Anybody else? Go ahead, Henry.
She mentioned watching it online. I'm wondering how much of our attendance has dwindled because people are watching it online saying, I don't need to attend because I can see it. It hasn't been online the last couple of months because we've been talking about the PAC. And we don't want all the video about the PAC out there available to everybody, even
Yeah.
people that are detracting from what we want to do.
We'll also have TJ who comes back and
Yes.
I report.
recaps the entire meeting.
But I guess what we're trying to decide is,
Okay.
if we move it to Thursday, are we gonna have more people here? Or are we gonna have fewer people here because Saturday's better for more people than Thursday is?
So of the folks in the room now, I'd like a show of hands Thursday or Saturday, who would continue coming on a Saturday? And is there, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay. And how many people would prefer to come on a Thursday?
Oh, prefer?
Or not, okay. Who would come on a Thursday night? So it's about the same number of people here that,
I think there's a few less on Thursday.
Yeah, it's not one Thursday.
My question is, how are you advertising that the Tea Party is meeting this coming Thursday night or this coming Saturday night? Okay, well, I didn't know, except Gary called me and said, hey, you going to the Tea Party? No, I had no idea the Tea Party meeting was going on. I mean, and yes, you have it every,
third Saturday.
right, okay, but where's that reminder? Can we get a email?
It comes out in an
Or
email.
TJ posted on
It
the.
comes out in an email,
It does
and
come out in
Linda
an email.
posted it on the Ellis County Tea Party page earlier this week, and then I posted again yesterday.
When
Yes.
they were running the campaign and they were doing the, was it meet and greet? What paper is it that they were posting you the event for?
Well, the Ennis paper does. The Ennis paper does. I'm sure that the Waxahachie paper would too,
If they have room,
if they have room.
which is, for some reason, they never had any room.
Well, the Waxahachie paper will take our press releases basically also, not just in the events calendar, but if different times Jim Simmons, who is a writer for the Ellis County Press, would write his column advertising our meeting. But, go ahead.
Why couldn't we advertise on 1390? Like make announcements that Tea Party meets on Saturday?
We've done that. We did it for the candidate forums. I called it in myself and talked with them. They had it on they also had it on their website, on their calendar, everything on their website. And it didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. We can continue to do that if you want.
If we only had enough money to put that commercial on that little box that's in everybody's house that they stare at for hours.
What house is that?
If this was 20 years ago, I'd say TV, but today you may be talking about computer.
Well, and that's a point too, and my understanding that advertising in the cable or the satellite is real cheap. And you can focus on zip codes.
Well, we could probably do that through charter too, local, Ellis County has a charter.
Because you can focus zip codes with a 15-second or 20-second message, and it's relatively cheap because they make their money by people paying for their service. And advertising is relative. I learned that during the campaign, that they make their money by people paying for the privilege of looking at their product. And then advertising is relatively cheap. That's something that we either in the Tea Party or, well, that wouldn't be a PAC function, that would be a Tea Party function. That's another point of how do we grow? How do we get the Ellis County Tea Party? There's 150,000 people in this county, and there's 100 people that show up on a real busy night. That's what, 2/3 of 1% of the people in Ellis County that are even aware we exist. That's one of the things that I'd like to have anybody want to address. How can we get ourselves known to the general public beyond we're about bunch of crackpots that the media wants us to be. Go ahead, TJ.
I think if Obama gets reelected, you might see some more people show up.
Yeah, let's hope for that.
We have bring a friend night.
That's for like everybody.
Okay.
One person.
Okay, that's a good idea.
For you, that was tonight.
She said if we had a bring a friend night,
Food is always a big attraction, so
okay.
bring a special dish.
That's a good idea.
Wow, you know, and generally, we're coming on to the holidays, and Henry likes to point out that we have our meeting on the third Saturday every month, except November, December, where that runs into holidays, and we generally have it on the second. That's, September, October, November, like 3 months away. Would everybody be willing to, like, I don't know, consider a potluck?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, not September, but, you know, well, I don't know. We've got a,
I know, because
yeah, huh,
we're got good speakers, so that would be nice.
Bring your own bowl.
okay, that's a good idea. That's a good idea too. We can, are we writing this stuff down? And we got it on video too. So, bring a friend, bring a bowl, bring a food bowl.
Something in it.
Yeah, bring a dish.
We were at the Free Pack earlier, Freedom Pack, you talk about yard signs.
Yard signs.
We get a yard signs, everybody put one out in front of their house the week of that we're having a meeting.
Yeah.
It's up all week, you know, Saturday, tea party.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. In the past campaigns, we all have experience on how much the little yard signs are. They're, you know, it would take a couple of hundred of them, but if you bought a couple of hundred of them, then they're pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, if, you know, you couldn't, go ahead.
They're $4.
That's for,
We can get them for $2
yeah,
a piece.
yeah, ours were $1.50.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of wires. You know, we got a lot of wire signs. Go ahead.
What about a mailing list? Like, I've been getting mail from the Tea Party, you know, asking for money for a long time, and, do they have a mailing list they would give you of people in this county who would be interested if you?
That's a sore point. Dallas County Tea Party was the first one in the neighborhood, and they took everybody's name, and they kept everybody's name, and they would not give our name back to us.
Wait, are you talking about a physical mailing address? She's talking about a physical mailing address.
Okay.
And we do have those lists. They're,
Voter list.
yeah, voter lists. We just, if you wanted to do mailers about the Tea Party, you could send out mailers via those voting lists.
Yeah, that's,
For the exaggeration dates, that's cheap.
is it? You know somebody does that?
Post office, if you do exaggeration
Yeah, that's, and Ellis County is what, 80% Republican anyway, or conservative Republican anyway, you know, that, you know, the smaller numbers, I don't want to say minorities, but the smaller numbers are, you know, they can throw it away if they want to. That's a pretty good idea, mass
It
mailing.
goes to everywhere.
Mhm.
I think the post office
The post office does it.
gets long, I don't know what it is, but I see the sign at the post office.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about, is just mass mailing to everybody.
It's a great idea.
That's gonna require money though, you know, that requires, you know, that's for you if you say, well, that's not PAC stuff, we're talking about Tea Party stuff, right? I mean,
We're still talking about 20 to 25 cents per postcard or something.
minimum,
That's for the mailing.
yeah, and then the postcard itself. But, we could also,
Well, if we're gonna do that, then we need to pass a bowl
You have to get a bigger bowl.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Great idea about this sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Every, you know,
that is a good idea.
Keep that.
She's my wife.
a lot less expensive than the postage.
That's true too, and your neighbors drive by your house. And I think some of our campaigns probably could come up with, you know, a 4x4 that we could, I don't know, paint over and put out on the highways.
We got a
That,
bunch of those white ones.
yeah,
Well, we can paint over signs when we go collect up the digits and the shout signs.
There's-
It's still there.
I know there's Joe Johnston still out there, but
Pits is still around.
I haven't seen any
We
pits.
still have some leftovers from Frank.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And there's other people that may not be running again that are also, you know, but yes, that's what I'm talking about is, you know, we could just kind of cover over, go ahead.
If everybody in here would just take 2 people in their neighborhood or maybe in their family and give them a personal invitation to come, I mean, not postcards or anything like that, just say, hey Fred, we're having a meeting on Saturday, and we sure would like for you to come, and then give them the information. But if everybody would do that every month and just take 2 different people, or maybe the same 2 people if they're not coming, and if everybody would do that, and then they would get 2 people, this could snowball.
It certainly could.
And
And that's the kind of,
not that
that's the
big a
kind of
deal.
things we need to do in order to, let the uninformed know that we're regular folks.
Right.
We're just regular folks. We're just concerned about the Republic. And, you know, a lot of us, I got into this thing for my grandkids. You know, TJ is in it for his kids. You know, it's very important to all of us, or we wouldn't be here on a Saturday night. So that's the kind of ideas that, you know, this could be a positive thing if we put it on the Facebook and got some good ideas like this rolling, you know, from the people who are, you know, interested in adding to that kind of a discussion.
Well, the thing about Gary's idea of just committing to bring somebody with you.
Mm-hmm.
Commit to bring somebody with you. We do that at our church. We're gonna have a friend day where we bring 5 friends with us to a service. And you can have a snowball effect that way, because then the next time you do, and you don't have to commit to it all the time, but maybe once every 3 months, we have a membership drive where we get everybody to commit to bringing somebody with them to at least one meeting. And some of them will stick with us, and some of them will fall away, but we will increase our membership. Another way that we can, another cost-effective way is doing a big sign wave on a busy highway the day of the meeting, and have signs that say, we're meeting tonight, 7 o'clock, Waxahachie Civic Center. And just have a bunch of people holding up signs right there on 77 out in front of Tractor
And then they'll
Supply.
come in our way.
Oh, 6 o'clock.
Go along the yard signs, maybe get magnets for our cars the week of it, so wherever we're parked, Target, Whataburger, wherever we're parked, this Saturday. Be mobile.
That'd be a good idea too.
And everybody wear your shirt the day of the meeting.
They have shirts.
We need more shirts.
The Ellis County Tea Party shirt, I mean, we normally go nude, but that's, I'm sure.
It's great, I can teach you to join and follow me.
Don't ever do that again.
This year,
Now I've got that picture in my head. Go ahead.
Do you have pamphlets or, I live in working in Blackenville, and I've talked to a lot of people there, and a lot of people want to come, but if I had pamphlets to give them, they may come out, if not, you know, this month, maybe next month.
We've had a push card design. Our pamphlet is generally that little 4,400 word document, the Constitution, that we put our courtesy of EllisCountyTeaParty.org on the back. But we do have a push card. Do we have any of those here?
Yes, we do.
This is a good idea too. When we're passing this kind of stuff out, we got 5,000 of those delivered to the house for like $300. We had to design it all, and it took a heck of a lot of effort to get everything we wanted on it. But then it was relatively cheap. In the real world, it cost nothing.
Yeah, we're gonna redesign it
But we're
and
gonna-
slim it down a little bit.
We're down to a couple hundred of those.
Yeah.
The mission statement.
We can give him some and let him start inviting people.
Yes. Well, we'll have to find some. I mean, we got ones that we had, and we have several.
We're not excluding those, yeah.
We don't have to be, I mean, we're, you know,
I would definitely want to put him in touch with Ken Magnus,
yeah,
just because he's in that county.
yeah.
He could probably-
Do they have meetings though?
They do have meetings.
Do they have meetings? Okay. I've not seen any kind of,
They're the double builders.
well, the Dallas County.
Dallas
Dallas Tea Party.
Yeah, but, you know, if they're up in North Dallas meeting and he's closer here, I mean, that's. I think
No,
that's
I'm just saying that when it comes to taking out somebody, a politician that's in Dallas, he would work with them, he would want to be working with them.
Right.
I want him to come to our meetings and theirs.
Yes, Joyce. I go to the Arlington Tea Party, you know, and I also go to the Arlington Republican Club too. Go ahead, Joyce.
I'm sorry, my wooden watch is working great.
You start out by saying I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I didn't hear if you had mentioned, since I wasn't at the meeting one time, that we have a fundraiser on Tuesday. Did you happen to mention that the Tuscan Slice, we're trying to raise funds for our Ellis County delegates that were fortunate enough to get chosen to go to the national convention. The Tuscan Slice, what time is it, TJ?
6 o'clock.
6
No,
o'clock?
6:30.
6 till 9, no?
No, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Okay. And, was there either going to charge a nominal fee, for dinner, or did you decide that
It's gonna, you can eat for free if you wanna just come and eat, but just know that it's gonna cost us $6 per meal, so if you come to the fundraiser and you eat for free and don't donate anything, you're not really helping us out. So you can come and you can eat for free, but we would appreciate as much as you can donate, because it's gonna be an expensive trip, to Tampa, and and whatever money's made is gonna be divided amongst the one delegate and the 3 alternates.
And Ellis County is being represented at the national convention more this cycle than ever before.
Yeah.
I mean, than ever before. Tarrant County has always owned.
We've
the
never had this
national
many
convention.
delegates go to the national convention.
And this cycle, we've got 4.
yeah.
And for those in general, we have 2 here in that. You want to stand real quick? So you don't be
And Paul Perry and Amy.
Amy's already there.
Yeah, she drove in yesterday, because she's going to all the committee meetings, because all the rules committee and the platform committee, they have all their meetings the week before.
So this is Tuesday, next Tuesday?
This is
The
next
21st.
Tuesday. 6 o'clock at the Tuscan Slice. And if you've never eaten at the Tuscan Slice, it's absolutely delicious. And the owner of the Tuscan Slice is a really strong conservative.
Okay.
Where is it? I haven't heard of it.
It's over in the Big Lots parking lot, in that strip
The
center with
oldest
Big
Kroger,
Lots.
yeah, the oldest Kroger store, the other end of that building.
I'm not gonna walk away.
All right, I got one more subject that I'd like to bring up, and then we're gonna have all these town festival events, and we're looking for folks to volunteer to come, join us in these booths. These booths are a blast. I mean, you get to see regular folks, you get to see a lot of different people, and
even not so regular folks.
Irregulars.
Floats are another thing, but we need to have active volunteers to do floats. Harlan's not here. Harlan's not going to build a float by himself. I mean, he did it a couple of years ago.
No, I helped.
Okay, yeah, Harlan and Joyce. That was before my entree to this.
Well, I'm just asking if my kids like it.
Oh, okay. So you guys would be willing to help build a float?
Yeah, I'll build it all by myself.
Really? So your kids can
Write
ride?
that down.
Be the best.
Can you say that again?
You say that again, please, Kim.
Bill, you just provide the materials and I'll build it.
What are materials? I mean,
I was thinking aluminum. Can you buy that from aluminum?
Nothing like a titanium.
Platinum.
wheels?
They roll better than they drag.
Yeah, that's true too. Maybe put it on one of the stone boats. So anyway, we're looking
Just
for,
make sure if you build it out of PVC, you glue it together, because then the Waxahachie freight float that was in front of us, that was a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
They were holding it together and had extra people trying to hold it. It was horrible.
And don't make them so tall with anything sticking up that they get caught on the trees or the power. Something like that.
so what time is it?
7:35.
Okay. Is there any, throw this open to anybody who wants to talk about anything within reason? Yes.
I went to see, last night, my wife and I, 2016.
Oh, yeah.
And every voter needs to see this movie. We all are in unity that we do not want President Obama back into office. But after you see this, you'll see just how scared that people are of what he is going to do in 2016. So please, if you would,
Take a friend.
go see it. Go see the movie.
Can I put in
So
something
are you
too?
are you talking about the end of the abomination?
Yeah, well, that's the name of the movie.
Yeah, I know, that,
What it's gonna be like in 2016.
so we want him unelected. And,
Yeah, it's a political, it's really a political documentary,
Okay.
but,
Is that where they interview like his brother?
a whole bunch of folks.
It's based on a book that came out about a year and a half ago that Dinesh D'Souza, who's probably the premier writer on anything in this country, he put it out and I read it then, and the documentary just touches on everything in the book. So yes, it's got all the reasons why we need to get that man and his cronies out of our government, but it's a whole new understanding of why Obama is coming from, his whole come from. People call him a socialist, a communist, a this or that. But Dinesh D'Souza had a very unique perspective in that his father was an anti-colonialist, which is a different kind of mindset and what they really want. And that he connected with that out of being abandoned by this father and wanting to reconnect. And it wasn't any accident that his book was called Dreams of My Father.
No, from
From my father, I'm sorry, Dreams from My Father, rather than anything else. So it gives you a whole new perspective on Obama and an even bigger determination to get this anti-colonialist gone.
Well, where's the showing?
in
Uh,
Grapevine.
It's all in the
There-
north
it's-
part of Dallas County.
It's all over the place in Dallas County. We went to Webb Chapel and LBJ, but it's at Grapevine, a couple other places. We just picked the one that had the time that worked best for us. From what I've heard though, it'll only be shown in 400 theaters all over the country. So if you wait for it to come to Waxahachie, you're gonna miss it. So put out a little bit of extra and go, you can get online, find out where it is.
It's at AMC Theaters.
Yeah, it's at several AMCs. AMCs. Yes.
The more people who go to see it, the more theaters it will get into.
Exactly, good
So
point.
that's the reason.
Yeah, Linda Bounds said that, the one down here in Waxahachie said that they had to have 1,500 people sign
Oh, really?
or something that they would.
Oh, really?
Promise to show up on the first night, yeah, 1,500 people will have to
Oh.
be guaranteed to get tickets on the first showing.
Well, how would they would have to tell us it's coming before we could tell them we'd come?
Right.
That's kind of a catch-22.
Right.
Go ahead.
There's another movie that is with the same time with that, or at the same showings, and it's called Runaway Slave.
Yeah.
Please go see that, because the Obama 2016 tells you the history of Obama's thinking. But Runaway Slave is another documentary that shows the entitlement programs and how they have enslaved the people that participate in it. It is heavily, the actors are actually real people who are mainly in the African community saying, we have to get away from this. We recognize what this has done to us, and we are the educated. We're telling our culture, don't just vote because it's a culture thing, because Grandpa did it. Think what you've got. And the last of it, it is a powerful, powerful, give you some hope, that people are beginning to understand the slavery of the government and how it's plantation. It's a fabulous, and the end of it is the slavery is not about the typical slave, it's the slavery of the entitlement programs of the government. It's the same as the Edinburgh.
Can I go buy a DVD? I purchased the DVD online yesterday.
Did you? On Runaway Slave?
Yes.
Everybody.
Pastor Brode was in it.
Yes.
So was C.L. Bryant. And
Yes.
C.L. Bryant was in, at the
C.L.
American
Bryant
Airlines Center.
knocked it out of the park. He was the best. He was the best speaker at Free Pack.
Yeah.
By far. He was by far the best
It's
speaker.
wonderful.
So you have a DVD? or
Yeah,
you
it's coming in the mail.
You will get it, or you got it. If we had a special night, a special showing, would we be able to get enough people to come to a?
Oh, yeah.
Would we be able to sit in these chairs for 2 hours?
I don't think
We do every
3 hours? 3 hours?
Yeah.
Well, it's been an hour and a half, and he's telling me to wrap it up, so.
Well, we can have popcorn.
That is wonderful.
We could have intermissions if we're running the show.
Yeah.
But, and we could advertise and get more people to be involved in the Tea Party if we had that kind of thing. Anything else from anybody else?
Have we got any contact list and who's involved? What area? I don't know anybody here who does what or how to get a hold of anybody.
Are you a part of our mailing list on the EllisCountyTeaParty.org? Ellis County, anybody who's not on our mailing list who wants to know what we're up to, what we're doing is the Ellis County
Henry,
Tea Party.
how do they get on our mailing list?
EllisCountyTeaParty.org.
EllisCountyTeaParty.org. There is a button on that page to sign up. If you'll click on that and put your email address in there, then you will be getting our emails. Come out approximately once a week.
It asks for name, address,
Names
phone
ask
number,
for, I
what
think
kind
it
of
just
special
asks now
interest.
for name and email address.
There's no mandatory except for an email address, but we ask for what kind of special interests you have, what kind of special skills that you have that you might be willing to share with us. We got
Not
Keith
with the new
because he
email system.
was dumb enough to put on his profile that he knows accounting. So we sucked him in, and he's a big part of our group now. And anybody has any special skills, the billboard that sort of has the billboard location. That's the kind of information that you could share with us, and then we could get back to you and employ that. The yard sign idea, them are great ideas. Do we have a place on the website that we can offer?
If you just click on Contact Us, then it opens up an email. It opens up a page that you can write anything you want, and an email comes to me, and I can pass it to the rest of the steering committee.
And that way you don't have to get on the Facebook and share with everybody. You can get on with just the administrator of the website, and then the steering committee would have that information, and we could get back to you and complete that loop. We want information. We want to complete the loop by letting you know that we've got it and how can we use it. Any other concerns, questions, jokes? Henry? There's a joke.
I just wanted to, yes, I just wanted to mention, I hope nobody gets offended. I'm planning to, about once a week, shove a disclaimer on the Facebook page stating that it is an open forum, that there's a lot of conversations going on. There's been some concern about outsiders looking at that page and getting the wrong idea about the Tea Party from looking at a lot of the bickering that goes on. And I think but we want the page to be there because we want you to be able to talk to one another, besides being at this meeting. And I think that's a good thing to have happen. But we don't want outsiders getting the wrong idea about us. So I think we'll just shove a disclaimer up there about once a week. Don't think it's pointed at any one individual or anything like that. It's just going to start appearing.
You might put down too that some of these comments may be from people that are not members of the Tea Party.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Henry, I don't know if you would want to do that to this, but, is there a way where you can only allow members to view what's going on, or would that, I don't know if that would be a good idea to not allow.
I actually said it can be changed to a private group.
I don't think we want to do that. I don't mind people in Maryland seeing what's going on in Ellis County. Whether they can post or not is they have to join us. But my understanding, and I'm a member, so I can see everything and I can do
Yeah, I know
everything.
people that aren't going to see.
They can see it, they can read it, but they can't respond or post anything. And I wouldn't want to limit people in Navarro County or Dallas County from seeing what we've got going on here because to Clint's point, we got some stuff going on our Facebook, and most of it is uplifting and positive.
It just covers a wide range of topics, which is good. I mean,
it is all good.
It's good.
I just want to say to anybody that I talk to on Facebook, just imagine if I was sitting right in front of you and said it to your face, how I'd look, if I'd have a smile on my face, because I think that's why a lot of people's feelings get hurt and things get taken out of context on when you're talking in written form, because you miss out on the tone of voice, you miss out on the body language, you miss out on the facial expressions, and I can sit here and laugh when you tell me something, and I'll just say that's dumb. And if I tell you on Facebook, you'll really just take offense to it. But face to face, you'll see me laughing. And you'll say,
Maybe you should put them on.
"Well, you're dumb." But I'm one of the troublemakers on Facebook. Just so
But it's not the only.
You're one of the troublemakers.
I'm not the only one.
You're a troublemaker in public too, in face to face. And we love you.
Thanks.
With that,
Boy, that bill.
yeah, I'm gonna turn it over.
Can I get one more thing?
Yes.
If y'all want a hard copy of that resolution before you go home, I've got them in that folder up there, I can have it to you, just let me know. Cool.
You wanna maybe stand at the door when we break up, we're not done yet. You got another point or?
Just a real quick thing.
Got it.
Thank you all. Just want to introduce Tom Kyle. Tom, if you would stand up. Tom's with Texas Border Volunteers, and he's going to be with us next month. And we'll be learning a lot about what they're doing. We appreciate you being here tonight. And if you have any questions, you want to see Tom after the meeting, he'll be glad to talk with you.
Sure. By the way, I'm not here representing Texas Board of Volunteers. I'm here because the members of the Ellis County Tea Party. I'll verify that.
I've got one more thing, speaking of coming attractions. I've been in contact with Senator Bryan's office. Senator Brian Birdwell is going to come to our meeting either in September or in October if he can work out his schedule between politics and campaigning. So that's a big deal. He's going to come and talk to the Constitution. And I told him that's kind of it's his choice. He knows that, we are constitutional. He is one well-versed constitutional politician, in quotes.
Statesman.
Statesman, very good. And,
if anybody wants to see Senator Birdwell sooner than that, because once you've heard him once, you want to hear him every chance you get.
Right.
We will be here at the Tuesday meeting of the Ellis County Republican Women's Club here at the Civic Center this Tuesday night, starts at 7 o'clock.
We are also, on a lesser note, Senator Birdwell, statesman, we are also trying to get Joe Barton to come talk to us. You know, and
Do you have some town hall meetings scheduled
he,
for?
he does have town hall meetings all of August, but,
He's doing something now, though, and I need to contact his office because for some reason they keep inviting me. He has these, some kind of a
Advisory board.
special advisory board,
yeah,
only he's doing it during the day when I'm at work, weekdays,
yeah.
which guarantee, and his office staff knows that I work.
Yeah,
So
well,
it's like,
if-
are they
if
deliberately inviting people that they know can't
If they
come?
throw out an invitation and they get no response, they go, hey, we tried.
I think it's deliberate.
Go ahead.
Does everyone know about the constitutional class that Frank Kuchar is teaching?
Well, I know we talked about it in here before.
Well,
Now that it's going,
it's wonderful. This man is truly a student, and the time flies. It's on Monday nights. It's at 7 o'clock. If you're familiar with Ovilla Road and Westmoreland, there is a church a little bit to the north of that intersection called Grace. You can see it from there. And that is the church, and he said where it's being held. The meeting room's been rented there, but the information is, you will just see the working of the Constitution in very simple words, and he knows it. And he's using the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist books to work from, but he is phenomenal, and you get all of the PowerPoints and every bit of the information the week before, so that you can, and there's no homework, as he says. If you get to read, great. If you don't, just come.
And there's been 2 classes, it's a 12-week course, so it's been 2. You have missed some, but there's still a lot that
7
you
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
I would encourage everyone to come, because it makes it a living document, something that you can work with hands-on and you understand it. He's phenomenal.
yeah, and it's really cool because Joe Martin's right-hand man here at home,
Doug Main.
Doug Maines, he attends the classes, and he offers a lot of insight into how our Congress operates a lot of the time outside of the Constitution, and what kind of barriers have been put up to get us back to the Constitution that we need to overcome.
And if Monday night's not a good night, if you can't make this one, the plan is to have it again and again. We're talking about having it on a couple of Saturdays, long Saturdays to get it done with over and quick. We're talking about, different ways of getting it, out to the public, again and again.
And if that doesn't work, Hillsdale College has got their online thing that you can go sit down and go through it at your leisure.
Yeah.
So there's a couple different outlets if you want to get schooled in the Constitution.
Frank's is better.
It's phenomenal.
Well, yeah.
It is being videotaped, but it isn't released out yet. Randy?
Okay, just, we talked about earlier about these fairs or whatever that we're gonna be attending and be real active in this coming fall. Red Oak Founder's Day is on September 15th. Ovilla Heritage Day is the following week on the 22nd. Glen Heights National Night Out is on October the 2nd. Ferris Pioneer Days is on October the 6th. Midlothian Fall Festival is October 22nd. And Ennis Autumn Day is October the 20th. And then we're looking at also maybe doing something for the Texas Country Reporter thing that's here in Waxahachie. So we've got a lot of opportunity for people to really step up, and we'll have our booth at all of these. We'll be passing out constitutions and our push cards and talking with people about the Tea Party. And so it's a good opportunity for you to come and just show up and just start to meet people. I guarantee you it's a barrel of monkeys. It's a lot of fun.
They are too.
And that's how we got Randy sucked
That's
in.
how they suckered me into it.
Randy,
He came to a couple of
have
booths
you
and,
put those on the website?
Yes, we'll have all that on the
Have that on
website.
the website and a way to sign up, because I'd have to have my
Okay.
calendar over here and look at that before I'd see what I'd be free to sign up
Okay,
for.
well, we can do that, can't we, Henry? Put that in there?
I don't know about the sign up, we can sure get the calendar up there.
All you have to do is just show up, and, I mean, you know, there's plenty of room for, if we had 50 people show up, we'll put 50 people handing out constitutions and think about how great that would be.
That'd be all right.
So, if you're interested in the PAC board, you want to be on the PAC board, don't forget to see one of us after the meeting, we'd like to talk with you. And these are great ideas you had tonight, and we're going to be looking at that. And so check the website over the next couple of weeks as the steering committee meets, where we're going to be putting things out there. We've talked about a lot of things, but let's put it in action. Let's do some of these things. It's going to take some of us stepping up and really getting involved. Can you imagine if we had an Owens County Tea Party meeting and we had 400 or 500 people in here? What a force we would be for conservative values in this county. And we can do that. We can do that. But it's going to take us doing a little bit more than just coming to the meetings and really getting involved. So with that said, I know it's raining out there, and I really appreciate everybody being here and fighting their way to the rain here. We thank you for being here. Anybody have anything, Keith, or report to anybody? Then we're done. Thank you very much.